Today on the journey, we're in for a treat, guys. So we got Whitney Clements on. Clements, is that right?
Yeah.
Gosh, I leave out the T because my southern drawl sometimes don't say it. But I got Whitney Clements on from down towards Virginia Beach. We won't give her home area up. That way don't get flooded with people hunting. But they do a hunt every year in Chippokes and that's a 1-day hunt, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And it's only 30 people, and it's first come, first serve. And from the research that I've done, and I've actually got a real close friend of mine that goes down and hunts and I don't know how he draws it every year, but he does. He's been going for, Angelina she was just a baby. Like 7-8 years old the first couple times he went. And Anthony O'Neill's who I'm talking about. Anthony would come to my house and hunt the first 2 or 3 days of bear season, and then Thursday load up and go down to Chippokes and hunt the Saturday hunt with those folks down there. And he just couldn't quit talking about it. So anyway, through him, I was able to do some research and hook up with Whitney, who's actually been raised doing this hunt. And we're going to talk about hunting from a female perspective. We're going to talk about running dogs. And I've heard, so we're going to verify this during this podcast, that she can handle all 30 dogs by herself. So
Oof.
I've got to get the lowdown on this information. Like 6 kill me.
I wouldn't say by myself, that's for sure.
Well,
definitely with the help of my dad and my brother.
Yeah. Well, I know how it is.
Yeah.
I've got too many, and 6 is about all I want to carry. I can't handle any more than that. I don't want to handle any more than that. And 4 would be a perfect number, but I always have a younger dog or two with me, and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
I know you've been busy today. I really appreciate your time. So how's everything down east?
It's great.
Good.
It's hot.
Well, we can send some of the heat I'm sure we're getting from you. It's 90 degrees today, and humidity this morning was in the 70s when I checked it, and the dew point was 73, which puts a lot of moisture in the air. It's hard on the dogs.
Yeah. It is sorry, I'm going to turn that off. It is very humid. That's for sure.
Yeah. So it's kind of coincidental as Whitney and I were sitting here talking. Like I drive through her neighborhood basically every time I go down to the coast to hunt with BB or Doug, and brings her some ties. She actually went to school right here within 10 minutes of my house. So such a small world, and that's what makes hound hunting great is the
Yes.
networking and just connecting with people that. Right, literally in your backyard, or you're driving through their neighborhood and you never knew it, but then the hounds bring you together. So that's what makes the hound world phenomenal for me.
For sure. Yeah, you make a lot of connections, and I don't know, you get to know a lot of different people. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that was who you said recommended, you talked to me. I would have never even thought. So I can't wait to tell my dad, because he loves that guy.
Yeah. And Anthony loves him.
He'll know exactly who I'm talking about, too.
Yep. And they'll be down. I think they drew this year, too. Yeah.
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 Small world.
All right, Whitney, so give us a little background on you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do for a living? And then we'll get to talking dogs here in a minute.
All right, cool. So I'm a nurse. I grew up, since we're talking about hunting, I grew up dog hunting basically since I was old enough to walk. I was just telling Heath, I'm pretty sure my dad used to carry us around in diapers, riding around with him, getting dogs up, all that stuff. That's some of my favorite memories as a kid. And then now, I bow hunt, I still hunt. It kind of took my dad a little had to twist his arm a little bit to convince him that all that was, something that I wanted to get into, but he's a die-hard dog hunter. But yeah, so I do that. Just love the outdoors and had this opportunity to talk about it and talk about what we love to do. And unfortunately, dog hunting doesn't really have the best name and a lot of, to a lot of people, and not everyone takes care of their dogs the way that I like to think we do. So just getting the opportunity to talk about it and talk about what we do and what we love is pretty cool. So
you had one of the things you said there is now when you're bow hunting, you're not running dogs. You're just still hunting.
Yeah, October. Well, I don't know how y'all season runs, but here where I live, all of October, I'm bow hunting, and then the first 2 weeks of November, I bring out the muzzleloader, and then as soon as shotgun season, when the dogs come in, it's all dog hunting from then.
Yeah, no, that's
no still hunting after that for us, for me personally, because that's what we wait all year to do.
To run the dogs, yeah. And I know when I go down to BB's, they have to coordinate because their bear season comes in earlier than ours. And guys, just for the people that's in Virginia that's listening or not in Virginia, we're talking about east of the Blue Ridge. So that's kind of the divider in Virginia where you can run deer with dogs, and where west of the Blue Ridge we cannot on purpose. I got some trashy mutts, and they'll pick up my young dogs will decide they want to scave on one everywhere now and then, but they have to coordinate with the deer hunting clubs to be able to come in and run bear on those clubs, and so they're not interfering with you guys. So, I was just making sure that I didn't think you could run deer with dogs with bow or muzzleloader, and then the shotgun season. Yeah.
Nah, we start that. It's usually like the third week in November and runs usually till the end of December or first week of January. So.
Yeah. So that's basically the bear season down there too. Well, the bear season comes in October 1st.
Yeah, I honestly don't really know much about the dates on the bear season here in Virginia because I just haven't had an opportunity to go. But
I can't believe you're in like the mecca of bear hunting down there. I mean,
I don't know.
You got to get some of them trashy blue dogs and get them over on the bear side.
I know. Yeah, that'd be definitely something I'm interested in for sure. But
yeah, we're gonna hook you up this year. That's what we're gonna do. So, Whitney, what got you? I know you said you love the outdoors, but at what age and what really drove you to the outdoors and to hunting?
I mean, I always grew up hunting and going with my dad and stuff. It was always like a huge hobby for me, but I did play sports in high school, so I was big like in softball, and then I played in college my first 2 years. So pretty much after I graduated high school, I'd say I got more into hunting and different types of hunting. Like I just grew up until like I graduated high school, I just dog hunted with my dad. I guess when I got old enough to make my own money and buy my own toys, I got a bow and a muzzleloader and started getting more into that and making connections with people. Just going different places, hunting. I don't know, teaching myself more, like watching stuff on social media. Social media, honestly, was a big kicker. Like just watching all these girls that are like outdoor enthusiasts that hunt and do all this really cool stuff. Like I can honestly say I said I want to be like that, and here we are. So I don't know, I love it now. Anything I can do outdoors, I do it. Any hunting season I can get into, we're usually doing it. So I'm not going to say I'm the best, but any chance I can get outdoors doing something, whether it's hunting, fishing, deer season, turkey season. I told you I like the catfish noodle, so all that stuff. It's been cool, and I love talking about it.
Yeah. So is deer hunting your passion with the dogs, or is it just, or is there something else? I know you and I talked about turkey hunting. I mean, that's kind of my second love is spring turkey. So is it deer hunting that drove you, or was it just being with your dad and like getting introduced to that lifestyle? Because it is a lifestyle.
Yeah. I definitely love it. You know, I can say that that's my dad, and seeing like how happy, what, you know, watching him do what he loves, and then seeing how proud it makes him, like us being involved in what he does, and the way he talks about. I mean, if you think I'm passionate about dog hunting, you should hear this man talk about it, because he could talk all day long. You wouldn't be able to get him off of this podcast. So really just seeing him like do what he loves to do. Our dogs are at his house, and he actually is retired. So when I'm telling you he lives in his dog pens, I basically mean that. He has a huge building. I don't even know how big to say it is, but he's built this huge like covered pens with fans, and I mean it's just like, it's literally the nicest dog pens I've ever seen in my life. We've even had like a vet come out to give the dog shots, and he's like, what in the world?
It's like the Taj Mahal of dog pens,
yeah,
huh?
That's what literally people are like, it's like the Taj Mahal. So it's kind of a big joke now, because people will literally want to come to the house just to see, like during deer season, people will be like, we just wanted to see your dog pens, we heard about them. So it's pretty funny. But yeah, I would say my dad definitely is a huge like reason why I love doing it. And my family, the memories we make, I mean, it's just nothing really compares to that. Like when dog season comes in, it's my whole family. I mean, my younger brother, he's not as into dog hunting, just hunting in general. He played college baseball, and you know, now he's at in New River, so I'm sure he'll get more into it like once he graduates and comes back home. But my nephews, like it's a whole family ordeal. And yeah, I don't know.
You know, you said something there that, you know, we talk about it, but it's spending time with your family, with doing something that they enjoy, and you make memories that last a lifetime. And I don't think enough emphasis is put on that a lot, because, you know, Maddie, my daughter, she's with me. If she's not in school, she's with me in the woods. And, you know, I put on several podcasts last year about some of our hunts, and, you know, I've got a, I don't know what you call it. I've got a big picture board in my office at work, and that picture board is covered, and I've got a lot of pictures on it, but 80% of those pictures are from our hunting adventures, because that's what we spend the majority of our time doing. Now we do other things, but like she's into horses. I mean, her love for horses is as great as my love is for the hounds, and but the hounds are right there with her love for horses. So there's all kinds of pictures and stuff, but it's 80% of that is from hunting and the memories that we've made and the quirky things that we've done, or snapping a shot of her sleeping in a truck or sleeping on the boat or whatever. But
yeah,
you know, I think that people don't, like, maybe they take that for granted, is, you know, we're doing something with the ones that we love, or our friends, our good friends, and, you know, that stuff, that's what we'll be talking about when we're sitting in the old folks' home. We can't get around. You remember when we went? That's what we're going to be doing. Like, and that's what that's what it's about.
For sure.
So you got I see some ducks in the background. I know we briefly touched on it, but so you deer hunt. Obviously you duck hunt some.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you turkey hunt. Is there any? And you catfish. You're noodling for catfish.
Oh yeah, I've got the scars.
I seen that. I'm like, you better put some gloves and some sleeves on. Them things are vicious.
I did put gloves on this year.
You had to learn the hard way.
Yeah. Yeah, all that stuff. I mean, that's probably it. I fish a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Yeah. I mean, so do you saltwater fish or freshwater since you're right there?
Just like ponds.
Gotcha.
My boyfriend has like tons of ponds right here at his house, so we just bass fish, just mess around.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah. So let's talk about the dogs before we get into the pursuit of.
Okay.
So, and I know this because Anthony has given me the lowdown on you guys. But you're running blue dogs, right?
Yeah, so we have blue ticks, mainly blue ticks, walkers. The hunt we do with Anthony at Chippokes, we just take all of our big dogs down there, but we do have some beagles that we'll run to, like for little small cutovers or just little pieces that if we're close to like a main road or something, we don't want our dogs getting a chance of getting hit or anything like that. Like the beagles are going to stay in that piece better than our big dogs would because they haul tail
they blow
if the
through
deer
it.
gets out of the woods we're hunting. But at Chippokes, that state park is huge and we're pretty much surrounded by river for the most part. So the dogs they just have a field day all day long. It's really cool. But so yeah, mainly blue ticks though. My dad's actually had basically since I told you, like he started hunting when he was younger. Sorry. He's had the same dogs, like the same bloodline of dogs throughout. Like we still have dogs that are in the same bloodline from when he first started. So that's pretty cool to me.
Do you know any bloodline that's in them by chance?
Like blue ticks?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it would be like his blue ticks for sure.
But no, do you know their bloodline? Do you know like what? No.
Nah, not really.
Anthony said that he had kind of formulated his own strain because he's been doing it so long. So I would say that most of the blue dogs that he started with were way back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny that you said that you take the big dogs and you run the little dogs because that was one of the questions I was going to ask you. I've had some people that run deer with dogs that I've talked to, and they started out with the running dogs, like the running walkers and stuff, and they said absolutely they push them too hard. You can't get shots at them. Like the deer's just when they come by you, they're wide open, and it's just almost impossible. So then they went to the walkers, the blue ticks, the black and tan, whatever it may be. They went to the hound, away from the running dog, and still was having problems. And then they decided they were going to switch to the beagle. And they started out with the long-legged beagle, and they ended up with the short-legged beagle. So I'm going to ask you about that. But they said that the reason they did is because they pushed them just enough to keep them out in front of the dogs. But when the deer come to them, they were not like hitting the Mach 4 and busting the sound barrier.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that.
The Journey on Houndsman XP has teamed up with One TDC. This dual-action support for oral health and mobility in our dogs. This unique supplement is so effective that it is recommended by top veterinarian experts worldwide to maintain and improve our dog's health in 4 different areas. Their oral health, hips, joints, and muscles, skin, coat, energy, and recovery. Guys, I've been using this product for the last 6 months, and it has been a game changer for me. If you're looking for something to help with the overall health of your dog, go to worksowell.com and give this product a try. It is highly recommended by Houndsman XP here on The Journey. Do you like to be outside like I do? Hunting, fishing, hiking? If so, Onyx is the app for you. I've been a loyal Onyx user for years. It's the one app that I can honestly say I use daily. While hunting, I know where I'm at all times. I mark trails, bedding areas, feeding areas, and the list goes on. In my travels, I use it to pre-scout all the new places that I am blessed to hunt. Last year while hiking Yellowstone, I used OnX to map out the trails and know the difficulty of each one. And here's a secret. I mark all of my favorite fishing spots on OnX. It's been a game changer for me at work. I've used it multiple times to get in touch with property owners. OnX has so many great features and tools, you can literally use it in your everyday life. It is, by far, the best mapping app on the market. And hey, it's approved by yours truly at Houndsman XP. So when you go to subscribe to OnX, use our code HXP20 and get you a discount. So get your journey started with OnX and know where you stand. Talk to me a little bit about the hunt itself. Like, do you guys start out like checking roads for tracks? Do y'all rig for tracks? Do y'all like what method or all methods do you guys use to kind of get into the hunt? And then, like I said, my dogs have run deer. I guess I can put that together. But
yeah.
So how do you guys start? How do you get? Yep.
I gotcha. So really, it kind of depends on where we're hunting. We do hunt with like a few different hunt clubs, so it depends on where we're going. Like the Chippokes hunt, for instance, we just do. It's one big, huge piece of property, and they have stands where they know people are gonna be like designated stands. Mm-hmm. And we just literally let the dogs out. And somewhere like that, there's deer, just hundreds
everywhere.
Of deer. So the dogs are going to find deer like that. One of our hunt clubs, we have like different, they've been hunting it since literally the 1950s. So they have little like pieces of property that we just kind of, like, we'll give them all names. So like we all kind of know like, hey, we're going to the old house, or we're going to Barnhart's, or, those are just some names that we use. But we have like stands set up, designated around each block of woods or property, whatever, that we know we're going to hunt, that like our standers will go to. And then, but when it comes to that, you might, let's say if it's early in the morning or something, like we usually will, it really just depends. It depends on the weather, depends on where we think the deer might be laying early in the morning or like in the evening where the deer might be laying. But for the most part, we kind of just go and run a piece of woods and then go somewhere else. Like wherever, we have like hunting masters that kind of, which my dad is one of those, just makes up like, the plan for the day. But it's not like in bear hunting how, you like find tracks and stuff. It wouldn't be like that. The only other thing I could say would be, let's say somebody rides by on the way to the hunt club and they see a 10-pointer standing in one of the fields or something. Mm-hmm. Hey, let's go there this morning. I don't know. It's kind of just random, really. Because where we live, I mean, deer are everywhere, don't get me wrong, but like in southeastern Virginia with all this farmland and stuff, there's just deer are so overpopulated. So for the most part, 9 times out of 10, whatever piece we hunt, we're going to at least run something a deer out of that piece of property.
Right.
So,
and I mean, I've seen some bucks back in your background there.
Sorry, that wasn't on purpose. This
no.
is where my turkey is.
No. Like they're nice deer. I mean, the one back towards the window or whatever. I mean, his rack's out past his ear, so that's definitely a good over 8. What's a 20-inch spread there? And
that one that's the boyfriend's. This one is mine.
Mm-hmm.
That was with the muzzleloader though.
Nice.
But we're blessed where we live. We have pretty nice deer in this area.
Yes, you do. been seeing some on some trail cams here this past couple weeks, and I'm like, holy cow! Like,
yeah, we're blessed.
yeah, I mean, what you got the crop. I mean, you've got corn, you've got beans, you've got peanuts, like you've got all that farm vegetation that they're growing, and I mean, there's no reason for a deer not to thrive, for sure.
For sure.
And I was looking at Chippokes. It's 2.1 square miles is how big that is.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that's how big it was.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse my labs.
It's all right. So, you got a lab? So do you use it for hunting any?
These were my boyfriend's dogs before we started dating. So no. I don't think they're going too far from the house.
Yeah. Well,
they're lap dogs.
They're lap. Yeah. What a good.
We love them.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite thing about running the dogs? Like, what is it that draws you to? I know it's a lifestyle. I know your dad does it, but what is it that? What's your why? Like, what is Whitney's why? Like, this is why I love to do it. This is why I love what I do.
I would say, it's like something to be proud of. Like, I will tell you, my dad does the majority of the work. My dad and my brother. Let me not forget him, because they live right there where our dog pens and stuff are. That's where my dad lives on his family farm. So my brother does also. So they're always right there. But like, I know how much work they put in, especially my dad, like every single day, and the stuff he does. Like, his dogs are better taken care of than I am. I mean, it's just nuts, some of the stuff. I'm like, Dad, these are dogs, they're not people. So anyways, but knowing like how hard he works, even during the summer, all year round. We take the dogs to pens, which I'm sure y'all do the same thing. But like, and then raising them literally from like puppies, and then watching them grow and see like them, do their thing and do what they love to do. Because it's more than just us loving it. Like, the dogs love it. I mean, they would run all day, all night if we let them. So like, that's obviously fun. I mean, really, it's not just about killing deer, but when you do kill a deer and it's behind your own dogs, like, that's freaking awesome too. It's stuff like that, the memories we make. Like, I have one hunt that I just have to bring up because it's like the coolest thing ever. We were hunting one of my dad's cousin's farms, and this was like 3 years ago on Christmas Eve. We always do really cool stuff like on holidays. Last year, my brother killed a really nice buck on Thanksgiving. And then the year before that, it seems like we always do something cool on Thanksgiving or Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. And most people aren't hunting those days, but we do. So we always think it's cool. But probably 2 or 3 years ago, we were hunting with our dogs, and my brother was running dogs. Me and my dad were on a stand right beside each other, like 150 yards from each other. So we couldn't see each other, but we knew, where each other was. My brother shot and starts yelling. We can hear him. He killed like a really nice buck. Sends us a picture. By the time I'm like, okay, it's like not even 5 minutes later, our dogs are running deer. Like, they split off. I guess it was 3 bucks laying together. So one came to me, one went to my dad, and this is all within 5 minutes of that. And we all killed like 3 nice wall hangers. So that was really cool. Yeah. That does not happen all the time, and probably will never happen again. But just like stuff like that is just, I don't know. It's just something we'll never forget. Like, that's probably one of my dad's favorite memories of us, like, all hunting together. So.
Oh, I don't
know. I mean, I hope I answered your question okay. Mm-hmm. It's just all of it, really.
So how involved are you? Because one of the things that I love is training pups. Like, that's, I mean, I love my old dogs, but they're kind of a semi-finished product. And the reason they're semi-finished because I feel like they continually learn. But the puppies are what really excites me. I like to watch the development. I like to figure out the little nuances that each one of them have, and kind of formulate a plan of how I'm going to get this dog to do this behavior or do this task. And each one of them's different. So how involved are you on the puppy side or the training side of it?
I mean, for the most part, like, cause we can't run dogs, and we used to could run dogs like in the off season in Virginia, and we can't do that anymore. And we don't have pens in Virginia. We actually have to go to North Carolina. So that's what we usually do to train puppies. My dad books a few different places, like, I'd say closer to hunting season, closer to the season, like a couple times a month. And then, at least like once a month for the dogs. But that's really what we do right now, like fox pens. And some of the pens have deer in them too. So we just, like we'll take puppies with like older dogs that run really good. And I mean, really, they kind of learn for themselves. I mean, like they kind of learn from the older dogs. I guess I don't know. We do have, my dad also sends like some of our puppies to someone that will, like a pen, and where they'll like kind of help raise puppies and like help them with tracking deer and stuff. Mm-hmm. But really, for the most part, it's just getting them out of their pen and getting them hunting. I don't know like how it is with the bear dogs. I feel like it's a little different, but for the most part, that's kind of all we can do. And if they learn to run, they learn to run. If not,
so that was going to be.
Most of our dogs, I mean, it's amazing like how they're literally born, like that's what they're born to do. And that's why I'm kind of a little more passionate about like the dog hunting and stuff, because a lot of people, like, it has a bad name, unfortunately, but I think it's people just don't understand, or they see things and think that every dog hunter treats dogs one way or another, or that we're harming animals. But like, that's why I keep saying, like, the dogs love it, and that's what they're born to do. They're born to hunt, whether it's raccoons, bear, deer, like, that's what those types of dogs are born to do. So they're not born to sit here in my house on my lap. They're seeing them do what they love to do too. And like, that's why I said, like, they kind of learn from each other. And I don't know. So that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah. So, well, that was I had a second question is, so I have sent several dogs. I have give several dogs to some deer hunters that run hounds for deer, for dogs that I had that wouldn't tree or didn't want anything to do with a bear. No problem on putting them on deer. So do you guys have problems with dogs that don't want to run deer? Because if you do, maybe I need to look into that so mine don't run them on purpose.
Not typically. And maybe that's because, not to sound cocky, but we have good dogs, but that's also because we spend a lot of time with them and training them and taking them to the pens and stuff like that. But, for the most part, all of our dogs will run deer. They'll occasionally run like a fox or something. But if there's a deer in the woods, that's what they're going to go track. And I don't know. You would think going to like fox pens and stuff, my dad and I have had conversations about that. Like, why don't they, like, how does running a fox make them come here and run deer? And he's like, I don't really know. But I guess they have similar smells, or it's just the hunting aspect in general. But they've the first time I've ever seen any of our dogs like run a bear, they actually did tree one probably 2 years ago. But I've never seen that other than that.
Mm-hmm. So, what is your take on how the fox pens help your dogs run deer? Because I have a very, valid reason why, but I want to hear your reason.
Okay. I kind of want to hear your reason because I don't really know. I mean, in my opinion, it's just like, well, like I said, just like them hunting something.
Well,
but I really don't know the answer to that.
Oh, well, we'll go have a conversation then.
Like, please enlighten me.
So like one of my buddies in North Carolina, they have a fox pen. Now they run bear, but they take their puppies between 4 and 6 months old and they put them in a fox pen. And learning to run a fox helps them to sort out the odor. So your dogs are basically running, like they're running. So when they learn how to trail, jump, and run a fox, the deer just becomes second nature because they already know how to run odor, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't matter what odor. Like I've got puppies right now they'll be 4 months old the 28th. Today's the 25th, 6th, 26th. So yeah, 2 days they'll be 4 months old. I have been doing tracks and drags, whatever you want to call them, with these puppies since they were 10 weeks old. So they're almost 20 weeks old, right? So 10 weeks. And I've got them trailing and finding the end of a 2-hour-old track. And you say, well, that's, 2-hour-old. But again, got to look at the environment. We've got to look at the weather, humidity. Like it's summertime, it's hot. If I put the track in the morning in the dew, an hour-old track, they run it like they're looking at it. And then in the evening, I can do an hour and a half track in about, the dogs struggle with it. So anyway, but I'm teaching, and I am using bear scent. So I am using bear odor, and it's a synthetic, which means it's not completely what a bear smells like. It's just no way to replicate it synthetically like that. Well, let me redact that. It's possible, but I don't think that the odors that I've been using smell 100% like a bear. But I'm not a dog, right? So, but I'm teaching my dogs to trail right now. That's all I'm doing. I want them down using their noses, and I want them to be able to understand that the older the scent, they can still be successful with that. So I've been running them through a process. But I've also taken my dogs throughout my career over the time and put them in a fox pen just to see if they would run, and then flip them over. And yes, of course, I end up having to. We don't have a huge fox problem where I hunt. Like we're hunting in national forests. There's not a huge fox problem. Now there is bobcats, a lot of cats, and I know that I've started some puppies on my dad's barn cats. They would run them down and run them up in the loft and tree on them when they were puppies. And I would always tree a couple bobcats during season with those pups, but that's what they knew. So I think it's just, you're teaching those dogs to run odor. You're teaching those dogs that if I pick this odor up and I track it, eventually it's going to be a fun and game because something's going to take off running and I get to chase it. So that's kind of my theory on that.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
So, but yeah, a lot of people use fox pens because that's what's available. That's not, like you said, we can't, I can't run bear, but basically 3 months out of the year here for me in southwestern Virginia, I've got, our season comes in next week. Like I said, it's 90 degrees. I'm not causing my dogs to. Yeah, our training season. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Training, yeah. But I'm not going to cause my dogs to have a heat stroke and run them in 90-degree weather. I can't.
Yeah.
So, I get a little bit of August to run. September's usually pretty good, unless it gets really dry. We've had a couple dry Septembers, and that makes it really tough for the tracking and trailing of the bear. And then December. And then we look at December as a whole. if the food crop is good, the bear hunting seems to be good if you can get yourself in the right places. If the food crop is poor, the second, third week into bear season, it gets a little tough. I mean, the bear get more sporadic. You're going deeper and trying to find out where they're laying, and it is a little tougher. So, and I get it. Like, it's tough. It's tough for us to train. But back to what, you guys taking them, and so do you teach your dogs to load and lead in the off season, or is this stuff you're doing during season? Like, and I know, like, in a vision that I have is I see the picture on I think it's Southern Hound magazine, and then I the fox and the hound. Like, I see like 20 dogs following a horse into a and I know there's a fox dogs, but that's my vision of deer hounds, is like having 10 or 20 dogs going to an area to hunt. Is that correct or not correct?
So what we personally do, some people hunt a little bit differently, but like, we usually, it depends on like the size of the piece we're hunting or where we're hunting, all that stuff. But typically a normal like block of woods that we're gonna hunt, we'll have like 7 or 8 dogs, and I mean, really, we just let them out the box. My dad, me, or my brother, whoever, like, walks with the dogs basically until we find a deer, and that's when they go do their thing, and we go back to the truck basically.
Yeah, so you're free casting them.
We're kind of just like walking with them just to where we think deer might be laying, or sometimes they jump a deer as soon as we let them out the box. It really just depends. Now, some people, I don't know. I don't want to speak for other people, but that's what we do personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah.
But definitely, like, bear dogs, when I went for that hunt in Hyde County, that was the first time I've seen any other type of, really, I've seen dogs tree, like, raccoons and stuff, but I've never really, and, like, rabbit hunting, I've done that, but the bear dogs were definitely, I don't know how to, like, word it, but they're definitely trained differently for a bear than deer dogs are. I would say more, like, obedient to different, more obedient, really. I don't know if that's the right word.
Well, now, that's not what I heard. I heard
really?
that you were really, really good with the dogs.
I mean, we use, like, our GPS to, like, tone them, like, when we're trying to get them to, like, come back to us. Like, a lot of them are, like, we call tone broke, where, if we want them to, like, where we can call them off of, like, a deer or whatever, or to come back to the truck, like, if we're calling them, but...
Yeah, but somebody had to teach them what tone meant. Somebody had to teach them, that tone means come here, so... Are you involved in that?
We all do that. My dad, he doesn't really understand the GPS. So I would say like my brother and I, but I don't know. I guess I don't even think of it like that. It's just like second nature.
Yeah. So,
but I wouldn't say all of, we have a lot of dogs. We have like anywhere roughly between like 45 and 55 hunting dogs.
Ooh.
So some of our dogs are definitely like more I would say obedient than others. I mean, they definitely know us. They know our trucks, stuff like that. But we have puppies and they like to play around and stuff. So it kind of just depends on the dog. Depends on how old they are, stuff like that. But
does your dad let the puppies run loose when they're young, or does he keep them pinned up?
Like in the yard, there, like at our farm and stuff, but definitely not like free range at all.
Right. Yeah.
People where we live don't like that.
Well, I was going to ask you.
We try to keep He has even designed his hunting his pins to where the sound goes a certain way
Yes.
towards where no one lives, and like all the new housing and all that stuff that's built up around them. Because I mean, when you put 50 dogs in a dog pen all together, they're a little loud. So
Yes.
he's even done that to where like people don't, we don't want to cause issues. We're just
Yeah.
doing what we love to do.
Yeah. No. It's funny you say that because I can hear my dog. Somebody must be coming up a driveway right now, but I've got my dog situated where the neighbors in front of me they can't hear. They can hear them if they're barking, but it's not like they're standing in their backyard. But so
Yeah.
only people with hounds know, or not hounds, but people with dogs know that the trials and tribulations of having neighbors.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So, Whitney, let's spend the next few minutes just talking about being a female hunting. You said that social media really was what drove you. Saying you said I want to be like that. So what is it like? What is your world like? What are some goals that you have?
I mean, I would like this year in particular, I would say my biggest goal is to kill like a really nice buck with my bow. I'm gonna just get off of dog hunting for a little bit. Just because that's something I work really hard for during the off season, like setting up cameras, checking cameras, putting out like minerals. During the summertime, we make food plots. I did get my dad onto making food plots, so that's been fun. But all that stuff, just like the hard work that you put into it. I mean, it is hard work, really. Putting up stands in 90-degree weather, it's not always the most fun thing, but it's worth it. Sitting for, how it is, sitting for hours and hours and hours. It's just, I don't know. The bow hunting to me is just, I feel like the most challenging. So that's why I enjoy the most. I've killed deer. I've killed a couple small bucks with my bow, but nothing really, everything I'm proud of, but I would like to kill something nice that I've been hunting. So,
Well,
I'm
wait,
just excited for that this year.
did I not see a Texas buck?
Oh yeah, that's right there.
Yeah, that's a monster. I'm sorry.
That was with my bow, but that was something on my bucket list. I have a bucket list of different hunts and stuff that I want to do. But that was not this past winter, but the winter before. I wanted to kill a non-typical buck with my bow. And yeah, I would say that one was non-typical. But, after the fact, looking back now, I'm like, I don't regret doing that at all. But doing all the work myself, killing something, whether it's at my dad's farm or, right here with my boyfriend, like, I just feel like that will mean so much more to me than flying somewhere and killing a deer. Me personally.
Yeah.
I want to see like my hard work pay off. So that's probably my biggest goal this year for this season. And I don't know. I mean, I've done a few other things like the bear hunting. That was really cool. I got to see like seeing dogs work in a different aspect. That was really cool. I want to do that again.
We're gonna make that happen.
Yeah. Do what?
I said we're gonna make that happen.
I know we are. I actually, well, being a female and hunting, I don't know. It's actually like I've met tons of people like through social media. Really has been really cool. I've been on lots of trips with girls that hunt like all over the United States, and I don't really have a lot of close girlfriends right here that like to do what I do. So meeting people, like I've been on some duck hunts, some waterfowl hunts with different girls. One of my best friends, she lives in Arkansas. She just came to the beach with me last week, and we're going duck hunting in November together. So, like, it's just really cool to meet different people that love to do what you do. And they might not live here, but it's opened up the door for opportunities, like, for me to go see the world, hunt different places, but also meet really cool females that like to do the same thing. So that's really been, it's been cool. It's nice to know that there's other girls out there that like to do badass stuff too.
That's right. So are you going to Arkansas to duck hunt?
Well, yes, we're gonna go to Arkansas at some point, but our planned trip is, we're going to, me and some other girls, potentially 2 other girls from Virginia. We're going to Oklahoma to an outfitter that we went to last year, and we killed geese and ducks. So I think that one, wherever it is, that was
Greenhead.
that was a banded mallard I killed there last year. So that was really cool.
Nice. So what kind of shotgun you took? You a 12 gauge or 20?
12.
12. I heard.
87. Oh. Listen, that's what my dad, I'm telling you, my dad is my person. He is, I use his gun that he, like, grew up using. So now I use his gun, and I don't really think I can get off of using that.
So you're using a Remington 1187?
Mm-hmm.
Shoo.
That's what I use for everything I do.
Yeah?
And it's not really light. So
no.
I might get something different for, like, waterfowl eventually, but I don't know.
Nice.
He still let me use it, so I'm still getting at it.
Still use it, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've shot 1187 a lot. I mean, that's a really common gun, and I've actually, because of my age and like you just said, that weight of the gun, I was a big Remington fan, and I went the Benelli route, and then now I'm actually toting a Franke Infinity, which is a 20 gauge is what what I turkey hunt with. I mean, that's what I use, and I love it. I love it. So anyway, the other question I had for you is what challenges do you have in the hunting world being a female? Like, what is it that, what is a challenge that you see that you guys that are different from us, from a man than a woman? What is it that's different and poses a challenge for you?
Honestly, I feel like if you would have asked me that 3 years ago, my answer would have been different. But I feel like females in the hunting industry is a lot more accepted now. And, like, growing up, like, I grew up hunting, and, like, I don't know.
It's a way of life for you.
It is. And I feel like so many girls are getting into it now that it's definitely more accepted. I honestly, a few years ago, I probably would have said just, like, people accepting that that's what I like to do, and, like, I'm a girl and I'm gonna do this. But really, a lot of men are, like, they love to see me do what I do, or, like, ask me stuff, and which I think is really cool. I don't know if I have any, like, challenges, honestly, because I feel like most people think it's pretty cool to see a girl, like, out there doing what the guys do. I don't know.
Well, that's a tough
one. I mean, that's good, though.
That's very good.
I wouldn't say, like, the first time I ever met my boyfriend's mom, I was like, your mom's probably going to think you're dating a crazy woman. But even she loves it. She loves it. Like, we are best friends. We can do everything together. And I like to do everything he likes to do. So for me, I really don't have any challenges, honestly. My only challenge is that I don't make enough money to go do every single thing that I want to do in the outdoors.
That's me.
That's a challenge, but I think that's a challenge for more than just females.
I mean, I'm hoping and praying that I'm still healthy enough and able when I retire, which is in the near future. Because my goal in life is to stay on the water or in the woods. Like that's my goal. That's all. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
But I'll throw this at you because the girls here, they deal with it at school a little bit. They have some, they're. I mean, of course, we're in a rural area. You've been here. We're in a rural area. Like we're in a rural area, and it's accepted for the most part. But some of the little cliques at school poke fun at them, make fun. Y'all hunt, y'all do this, y'all do that. And and I've told them all, like, it don't matter. You do you, and let them be them.
Yes.
Like let them do them. Like they don't know what they're missing out on. They don't see the time spent with your family. Like being outdoors. I'm like you. I love the outdoors. I don't care what I'm doing in it for the most part, as long as I'm doing something. But I love the outdoors. And they're the same. They're the same way. And they'll take spells where they get a little bit of a trash talking at school or whatever. Mm-hmm. And, I think they've got to the point where they just ignore it. Like, I don't care,
Yeah.
They got camo Crocs over here. They've got.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, they're country. Like,
yes.
Let them be.
And that's okay.
That's
Own
right.
it. I would say, like, at that age, I definitely could see where that was more challenging. Like, I was always a big tomboy, and it sounds like your daughters might be the same way. But guess what? I grew up, and I'm still doing it. I'm still doing what I love to do, and now it's definitely more, like, accepted, I guess. But that's why I brought up social media, and I hate to be that person, but I really think social media and, like, different females out there have opened people's eyes to, like, there's a lot of people, male and female, who do things on social media just for, like, the image, but then there's also people out there, especially females, I say, because a lot of people say that, she's just doing this to look cool on Facebook or whatever. But, there are so many people out there that truly do the hunting and post stuff just because, like, hey, we love to see it, and I love for people to see, like, girls can do this too. And I don't know, that's something, like, speaking of, like, younger girls, a lot of people have told me, like, and I take that as, like, a huge compliment that, like, I'm very inspiring for, like, younger girls to, like, do things on your own and go out there and just, like, live your best life, like you said. I don't know, just being independent and, like, we don't need a man to do this. We got this.
That's right.
I mean, I do need my dad. I always need my dad, but I don't know. So that's been really cool for me. Like, when I do hear comments like that, because that's ultimately, like, I want girls to grow up and do the same exact thing. I think it's awesome. So any chance I can get to talk about it, like you said, on here, I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah. So yeah, I want my girl. I want mine to grow up being able to take care of themselves. I don't want them to have to rely on anybody. It's nice to have that, but and I think hunting and being in the outdoors gives you a toughness that a lot of people don't have. And I told Maddie today, I took her, she broke her ankle playing at volleyball camp at Tech last week, and she's having to sit around. It's killing her because she can't help take care of the dogs. Like, no, that's her thing. Like, she loves to, huh?
I said, that's cute.
Yeah, I mean, she can't take care of the dogs. She's sitting inside, and I don't know what I would do if I couldn't spend that time with her. Like, and she's not preppy or prissy. Like, she's straight up tomboy. I mean, boots and blue jeans. I mean, she loves the dogs. She loves her horses. And I don't care what I'm doing. She's with me. Like, I mean, it don't matter. Like, she gets in the truck and goes on trips with me. She gets up in the morning at 5 o'clock and bear hunts. She'll get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go get on the boat, and stay with me. And I don't know what I'd do without her. Like, it's that important to me. And I think it's phenomenal that how do I put this? I think it's phenomenal that that there are more females leading the way, and that everybody is accepting of it. That this is cool. This is cool.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, we hunt, like, if you get to come up and hunt with us, you're going to see that we have 5 or 6, 7 guys mainly that's in our group, and it's a family event. Like, all of them's family. Like, depending on when you're there, the kids will be there if it's a weekend, or they're out of school for like holiday, like Christmas and New. The kids will all be with us. Wives and girlfriends, they're usually there. It's a family ordeal for us, and we throughout the year, of course, bear hunting is what mainly we do with that group, but we go camping with the same group. Will go camping with each other. The same group has cookouts and little get-togethers throughout the year. We go hiking together. We do all these things as a group, and all of the kids are a part of that. So,
yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So, all right. Do you want to leave us with any inspiring words? Like, yeah, lay it on us. Come on, what you got?
I really don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, put you on the spot, did I?
Yeah, you did.
Well, like I said, Whitney, hearing your story from Anthony, hearing about your hunting, the love for dogs. Like I said, I'm a little bit out of the realm with the deer hunting world. I guess I got I got a vision of what you guys do, but I've never done it. So maybe I need to get down.
You need to come this year too. I'll come bear hunt, and you can come see what deer dog hunting is all about.
Well, no, I can do that. I will definitely, as long as it's not bear season. I have to do it in November.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I don't care nothing about killing one. Between the girls and me last year, we killed 6, which on our tag, I don't know how. I guess y'all have 5 tags or 6.
5.
5. We have 6, and I killed 3, and Tegan killed 3 last year, and our freezer's plumb full. Of course, we ended up killing 2 bear, which we never do, and then anyway, we've got more deer than we can shake a stick at, so we're going to lay off of it this year. But yeah, I think I'd love to do that. And it's funny.
Good. That's cool.
Because I'm going to go to Arkansas duck hunting this year.
You are?
Yes.
All right. When?
We haven't decided a date yet. Just it's in the works, but some of the guys that I've interviewed on the podcast, that's what they do. And I love the work of the dogs. Like, the dogs are what drives me. I've never duck hunted. I've never had a desire, but I want to go watch, learn, and I want to see. Yeah.
Well, if you've never seen like a duck dog or a waterfowl dog work, there's nothing like that. So that's definitely something you need to do. Because they're very smart.
Yeah. No, I'm
very smart dogs.
I'm excited about that. And like you said, it's about opportunities. Like, just go and see it.
I mean, it's cool. Like, there's some people out there that just want to. My dad, he just wants to dog hunt. He doesn't want to do anything else. Me, I'm like, I want to see it all and do it all. Like, the more the merrier.
Yes. All right. Well, so let's end it with this. What's your bucket list?
I literally was just thinking this. My next bucket list thing probably won't happen anytime soon, but is to kill or to go hunting for a mountain lion with dogs. I think that I've seen. This is social media is bad for me because I get all my crazy ideas from social media, but the videos I've seen of that are so cool. It's just like, they treat them just like bears, and I just think it'd be awesome to get up in one's face.
Mm-hmm. So that's a bucket list. Do you want to kill an elk with a bow?
If I had the opportunity, yeah, but I need the money too.
Oh, you and me both.
No, but that would definitely be cool, but that's something I really don't know enough about to even start, like, that process.
With the dogs with lines?
I mean, the dogs do most of the work, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I know a guy. I know a guy. All right. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for taking the time out of your day and helping us teach, train, and learn. And it's been a blast just getting to talk to you and getting to know you.
Same. Thank you.